Okay, here I have been trying to figure out how to get this stupid thing to work. And it's taking me way longer than it should. So, let's see if I can move in the camera. So I'm clearly out of camera. Okay, you guys, it has been quite the last 4 days for me here. I have pretty much been out of my mind on drugs. I'm just going to be very frank with you guys because anything else doesn't work for me. I messed up my arm and they put me on muscle relaxers. So I haven't hardly been on here at all, but just a little bit, and that's what's going on with me. But first, let me give my usual disclaimers. I'm Suzanne Titkemeyer. I used to write for Pathos, a column called No Longer Quivering. I've involved the evangelical quiverful movement and the evangelical Christianity movement in general. Please do not harass anybody I'm going to talk about. These are just my opinions, and my opinions based upon a little bit of reading and documents I've seen. So, this is going to be one of the few times I do talk about Miss Catherine Joy Paulson, who I worked with at Pathos, who I was supposed to train, who ended up stabbing me in the back and taking a lot of my writings as her own content and sharing rumors that I had shared with her as the gospel truth about the Duggar families. So I have seen the cease and desist demand. She is being, it looks like, sued yet again. I haven't seen any lawsuit paperwork yet, just the cease and desist demand from Dion Derrico. If you don't know who that is, the Derricos have a television show on TLC. Apparently they're a family that has had multiple births. They have a freakishly large family too, like the Duggars, but instead of it being religious based, it's biologically based. Apparently Mrs. Derrico has had a bunch of twins and a set of triplets. Wow. My husband and I were talking about that earlier today, going, wow, can you imagine that? Can you imagine? We were talking about being outnumbered and how horrible that would be to have that many children at the same age. It would be difficult at best. So the Derricos, my hat goes off to you that you could put up with that and that you could do it well, apparently. So TLC, in many ways, has been the lowest common denominator in my book. And they started out, well, it was kind of like the Biography Channel. Many years ago, the Biography Channel had legitimate biography kind of things that they did. And they had nice biography pieces on any number of people. And they had a magazine by the name of Biography. What happened was the Biography magazine switched all the celebrity gossip, and I canceled my subscription. I was like, oh, hell no. And the Biography Channel went that way too. I've seen TLC do this. They started out as the Learning Channel, literally. They had educational type stuff on there, and in the last so many years, they have gone to, I'm just going to call it freak shows. Freak shows. Anybody who was abnormal, outside of the range of regular human experience, those were the people they went with. Including the Duggars, who, in my opinion, are some of the most freak show of all freak showy people. Just because their lifestyle is so weird, even though I knew so many other people just like them in my old church. So it's just gotten worse from there. The Derricos seem to be an exception. They seem pretty normal, except for the abnormal number of children they've had. And this latest thing is recently, Catherine Joy has made it her business to start talking about the Derricos. She made a lot of allegations against Dion Derrico that her, quote, source was claiming to be one person, but was actually another in that family, and was feeding her fake information And we all know Katie Joy. She just seized upon that crap and ran with it without doing any sort of being bona fide. So she didn't do her bona fides. She didn't check anything. She doesn't do any research. She just decides something, and that's what she goes with. It doesn't matter what the reality is, as long as she can come up with somebody saying something, even though somebody doesn't know what in the heck they're talking about. She goes with that, and that's what she's done with this. So I'm just kind of sitting back, trying to figure out how many lawsuits this is, and just kind of laughing. First, you had Tati Westbrook, Steve McRae, who didn't Valentine, Todd Chrisley, who settled just like Tati Westbrook did. Then you have 7M, Miranda Derrickson and her husband, and Robert Shin suing. And now you have this very likely Dion Derrico. 5, count them, 5 people who sued her. And she claims this is a normal part of business. Let me tell you, I've been writing about Quiverful for years. I've been talking about evangelicalism on my YouTube channel, and you know how many lawsuits I've had? 0. Bupkis. 9. Very few YouTubers I know actually have had lawsuits. Just a handful, and she's one of that handful. So draw your own conclusions to that. I'm going to go back to bed. I feel sleepy as heck. I'm trying to get off these stupid muscle relaxers they gave me because they're not doing me any favors. Sure, the pain goes away, but falling asleep every 10 minutes is not the way I want to live my life. It's laundry day. I can't do that. Okay, you guys, love you. Hope you're all doing well. I hope life's treating you well, and avoid the noise. Avoid Katie Joy as much as you can.